Buddy, what is the origin story of Tim Dillon? Tell me the whole piece.
I mean,
Long Island kid.
Long Island guy, mom's a schizophrenic, dad's a failed musician, cocaine at 13, smoke weed, love the ciggies, boozed it hard.
This all checks out.
C average. Public school up into Holy Trinity Catholic school, but really a public school with uniforms, one of the lower tier Catholic schools. Our theater arts teachers would make out with kids in the hall. Like that type of school. Everybody's having fun.
Playing it fast and loose over
What's
there.
funny about that is that's true.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No brothers or sisters?
No brothers or sisters.
What about cousins? Was there a big family
There's
around?
One just died choking on a sandwich. Other one's a heroin addict. I swear to Christ.
That's not true.
I swear to God.
What kind of sandwich? Do you know?
We don't know.
It was a Godfather for sure.
Other one's a heroin addict. Other one, it's all bad. I am a gay ex-cokehead comedian. I'm the most successful by far.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's not even close. Dad was going to be a musician. That didn't work.
What did he actually do, though? What did he do
sang. He wrote songs and sang.
How were you paying the rent and the mortgage and stuff like that?
He was a wine salesman.
Okay.
That's probably all right, though.
So he did that. He did that. And then my mother was a swim teacher. She taught swimming.
She wasn't really rolling in the dough.
2 words, legacy money.
I feel like those lessons.
Wealth.
Yeah.
I feel like those lessons took place in an above ground pool for sure.
She collected Beanie Babies and Hess trucks to even it out.
The keystone of trash.
Yeah.
Did you get a Hess truck every year?
Oh
yeah.
Sometimes it had a helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are all right, man. As long as the batteries were good.
When you come from the type of human filth I do, your idea is that you will be saved by some kind of collectible.
Yes. The state quarters are big.
Like most people put their effort or energy into like some type of functional business, but my mother and many people like her felt that like if you waited on a long enough line, money was on the other end of it.
Sure.
Like if you just stuck it out in a line at Burger King to get the fucking commemorative Disney Little Mermaid toy set, and you got 10 of them and wrapped them in plastic and put them under the bed.
Jesus.
One day,
That's
your
your-
ship was going to come in.
That's
Is
your
that stuff-
401k right there.
Is that stuff still out there? Is that still somewhere? All
During
those collectibles?
Hurricane Sandy, a lot of it floated down the street. Like you saw like Princess Diana bears and stuff just floating down the street. Hurricane Sandy finally, I think, was the nail in the coffin. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But every now and then my uncle will go on eBay and sell 1 or 2 Beanie Babies so we could give my mother money at the mental institution. Is it too dark? I'm sorry, we've just started.
Hey, you're getting the golden
Should we
plan
even
this
call
month.
this Are You Garbage? Should we even put a question mark?
No.
Was McDonald's Monopoly a big deal?
McDonald's Monopoly was huge. My friend's parents collected Marlboro Miles.
Hey,
I mean,
As did my family.
Yeah, like they had coats, they had a tent.
Yeah.
They had
Sleeping bag.
Yeah. They had an entire outdoors,
Yeah.
a canteen. They had a Marlboro canteen. My friend Shay McGoulahan.
Italian kid?
Yeah. So just to give you an idea, it's,
Yikes. What was the house? Was it a single family home?
Single family home, 2 stories, not a bad house. We had an in-ground pool.
that's good.
Because my mother taught swimming in it.
Okay.
Which was nice.
She did it at the house?
She did it at the house.
That's the equivalent of cutting hair in the garage.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Every now and then she would also do it in the rec. She'd do it at the rec
Sure.
center. But she also, you get the private money
Sure.
in the house.
The money's in the in-calls.
Yeah.
Doing side work. Hey, listen,
When
we
they
could do it
come-
at the rec center, or we can lower it a little bit. I pocket most of the cash. We just shocked the pool. Come on over.
So that's where they were at. Not big savers of money.
Where did they come from? Were they
So
how back is the Irish?
Forever. So my grandfather came over to this country when he was 4 on a boat.
Okay.
He was really successful. He ended up being like a millionaire, multimillionaire, general contractor, worked his way up.
Dad's
from
dad,
being homeless.
mom's dad.
Yeah, dad's dad.
Okay.
And my father inherited absolutely none of the ambition, drive, intelligence, grit, determination, or longing for his family to have a better life. My dad got none of that. He did like a couple of cocktails, but he didn't inherit anything else. my father's family, a little bit of money, but again, it was the old generation where you didn't get any of it.
Right.
So you didn't get any of it. A lot of it went to the church. My mother's father
damn.
died of a heart attack because he was big into amphetamines. Big into taking, he was a drunk and he took pills.
Jesus.
And then my
Talk
mother's
about ahead of his time.
My mother's mother was a saint. My grandmother, who I loved, who like helped raise me. She raised 2 kids, no husband because he had, OD'd or whatever. And then
he leads with OD or whatever happened.
And then my dad's family had money. My dad's
ripped
family
it from
had
the
money.
eulogy. I like it.
My dad's family lived in Muttontown, which is a really nice part of Long Island where like Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony lived.
Okay.
It's like Brookville, Muttontown. They lived in a really nice. My grandfather had a 2-acre home, pool, tennis court, all that stuff.
That's the crazy
court.
thing about Long Island is how mixed in the money
Yes.
and the trash
Yes.
is. Like insane, like Gatsby homes.
Yes.
Like fucking some of the
Yes.
oldest money in the country.
And then we have Levittown where people are falling down on fentanyl.
Oh, it's bad.
Right there in a diner. Yeah. So it's a real chasm.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is fucking.
So that's the origin.
Jesus
And you went to college.
No. Well, Nassau Community College, and then I dropped out.
Okay.
I went to Nassau Community College. I was on the debate team. I enjoyed that.
You're probably dunking on people.
Dunking on people.
Yeah.
Real good at that. Then I got into selling mortgages
Right.
because my debate partner had a Range Rover. And I said, fuck.
Yeah.
How do you do this? He goes, you sell mortgages. I'm like, great. So I started that. And then cocaine came back into the picture in a nice way.
Stop by for the weekend.
Yeah. And then some pills, a little perkadoodle-doo, perkadoodle-do.
That was probably the top. That was probably in their heyday when pills started really cooking.
Yeah,
They were like
no one knew
Maximum.
anything at that point.
My morning routine was a bacon, egg, and cheese, 2 eggs over medium, salt, pepper, ketchup, bacon, obviously cheese, American cheese on a roll.
Kaiser roll.
Kaiser roll, untoasted, got to be soft, unless I will complain. A double tall, non-fat latte, 'cause I'm being responsible.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
And 2 perkadoodle dinks, perkadoodle doos, perkies, and about 8 Newport cigarettes on the way to work.
That's a good morning.
It's
I'll
a
tell you that.
good.
That's A-okay in my
It's a
book.
good breakfast morning. It
That makes AM radio all
helps
right.
you shit. You get to the office, you take a shit for about 30 minutes. You sit down at your desk for about 2 minutes. Everything settles. You take a 20, 25-minute shit, and then you come back and start the day.
That's all right, dude.
And there's a lot of people doing that right now. Shout out to those people. Shout out to the people
Oh, man.
taking a
American
25-minute Percocet shit at work.
Couple of perks and a cup of coffee in the morning ain't too shabby. I'll tell you that right now. That
And it
first
was-
Bernie's in heaven.
It was Newports?
It was Newports. I started, and now I'm like back. I go on and off the cigs. It's
What do you
very
smoke
hard.
now?
Marlboro Lights every now and then. You got to
It's
get
a gentleman
classy.
cig.
I started with Marlboro Reds that me and my friend Shay would steal out of his mother because they bought by the carton.
Yeah.
We started with Reds. Then, check this. For no reason at all, we went to Basic Unfiltered.
Jesus Christ. This guy's a madman.
At 13 years old, Basic Unfiltered, just because we're like, fuck it, why not? Because his grandmother had Basic Unfiltered. So then we just
Kid
started
likes a bargain.
We used to have to stand outside of like a
Of course, like a deli or
Quickie
something.
Mart,
yeah.
Lazy Cow, whatever.
Sure.
And we'd have to go, hey, can you buy us a pack of cigarettes? And people would, which was nice.
Of course,
Back
dude, that's
then-
how you got
back
sick.
then,
Back then, people would go, hey, man, can you get me a pack of cigarettes? Back then, now, nobody would ever do anything.
That'd be
Kidding
insane.
me?
Back then, people get
Federal
you
charges.
Vanilla Dutch,
Yeah.
cigs. So we were Basic Unfiltered. Then we said, all right, this is fucking old and stupid. We went to Marlboro Menthol Lights. And we chilled with those for a while.
It's like a candy cane.
And then the Newport stayed around for the vast majority of and then I switched off the Newports because they were tough. I went back to Marlboro Reds and then eventually to Marlboro Lights.
There you go.
We did Noops too.
Yeah.
For some reason, you're like 14. You
Because
think
they're
cool.
around. They're,
Well,
they're around the people
They
that
had good
you're fucking
marketing
with.
back in the day too.
Yeah.
They made those beach parties look all
Well,
right.
they
Yeah,
also
they did.
tell you that it increases your high 15%.
It does have a Newport
They
after.
tell you because of the fiberglass, it takes you to the next
That's
level.
right.
And
It does. It cuts your lungs.
It does.
Yeah.
If you smoke weed, if you're watching this, you're a kid. If you smoke weed,
It's a family show, Tim.
smoke a Newport afterwards because it just puts you in that right frame.
Sure, of course.
That and a Diet
Now,
Snapple.
when people would buy you cigs, you would stand out there and wait, and you could always tell by the car. Like whatever car pulled up, you're like, this guy's a fun. This
Was
guy
there
will
a
do
main
it.
guy that you knew?
No, we would just stand outside, and it's horribly embarrassing when they say no. We're 14 years
I know.
old,
Worst.
and they're like, no, I can't do that. And we're like,
You could always tell. If a guy got out and left his car running, you're like, that guy will buy cigs.
a good sign.
For
somebody
sure.
smoking was a good sign.
Yes, of
and we would
course.
give them
This is great.
$5. A pack was probably like $2.75 or $3. You
Yes.
go, you can keep the change. We'll give you $5. You can
Yeah.
keep the change. That almost gets you a pack. There's something
So
in it
what
for
we
you.
used to
You
do-
wet your beak.
We used to go, hey, go in there, get me 2 vanilla Dutchers and 2 packs of Newports, and thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then if they said yes, we'd be like, fuck yeah. And then I remember one time, this was great. This is where we go like this. We go, hey, because they also had sandwiches. We go, can you just can you grab us a sandwich?
Give me a meatball sub, will
The
you?
guy goes, I'm not getting you a fucking sandwich. He goes, you can get a fucking. I'm like, well, you're already in there.
There's no point of both
He's
of us
like,
being in there.
I'm not
Hey,
getting
light
you a
on the mail, okay? Couple of sun chips for the gang too.
So eventually, he just got us the 6. But yeah, and then eventually,
Give me a sandwich.
we got the guy in town who didn't care.
Yeah,
Of course.
The guy who just sold you the 6.
Oh yeah, you find that guy for sure.
You find the guy.
So, on a day-to-day basis, your mom and dad were taking care of you and stuff like that. So, you said your grandmother kind of raised you.
Well, my mother and father were doing what boomers did, which is like they put you on a school bus.
Sure.
They drop you off at a thing. They go, good luck. We wish you well. I was an actor when I was, they thought I was going to make money as an actor as a kid. I was a good looking little kid. So they're like, now they didn't have the wherewithal to pimp me out
Yeah.
like they should have. You know what I mean?
They tried to play it straight.
They tried to play it straight.
Bad
They
movie.
should have just sent
Swimming in
photos of my
mercury.
ass all over Hollywood. But I was a bad actor.
Trying to book a role here.
I was
Come
a
on,
bad
show a little
actor.
skin.
I had this voice at 7. It was horrible.
Anybody got a light?
Yeah, I was like a cute kid, and I'd walk in, and I would audition for like big movies, like Man of the House with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. They'd be like, "All right, so now you're going out with your dad, and he's divorced, and you're connecting with him again, but you feel awkward." And I'd get the script, and I'd be like, "Okay," I'd be like, "Mom is okay. I'm okay too." And then they would be so horrified. So I didn't book anything for years. But that's what my parents thought their get out of jail free
Was
card.
you were their
would be
beanie baby.
me.
You were the next
Beanie
beanie
Baby.
baby.
Yeah.
I was the next Hess truck. You want to hear an order? This is my order of Fridays. You want to get? I'd go in there. I
As
would
an
get,
adult or as a kid?
as a child. Jesus. This is what I used to do.
Listen, honey, get your pad and paper out and get over here.
You're not gonna remember all this.
Tostado nachos. Salad because I love the Friday salad because they loaded it with cheese, croutons, bacon.
That shredded cheddar
and then
cheese.
you would get the breadsticks. Salad with ranch.
It was like a
Tostado
deconstructed
nachos,
sandwich.
salad with ranch, pulled pork sandwich that comes with French fries. Add on to that the loaded baked potato.
Oh.
Now the loaded baked potatoes.
What little kids getting a loaded baked potato? How's the divorce going,
Yeah.
buddy?
Smart.
Holy shit.
A smart one, because here's what I would do. I would get the extra Jack Daniel's sauce, and it would go right into the potato. And then, you have this loaded baked potato with Jack Daniel's sauce. It's still every now and then, if I'm on the road, I'll go into Fridays, get a loaded mash, throw some Jack Daniel's sauce on there, and eat it.
What are your parents saying when you're making this order?
They're kind of just fine with it. They're just, impressed that I can order. I'm like, a lot of kids are like,
Yeah. Tell them what you want, that kind of thing.
You're speaking
a lot
in French.
a lot of kids are like,
Sure.
so at least they're like, he can talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, are the tostado nachos? Are they good today?
Who's cooking?
But the answer to that is they were horrible parents.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the 90s, that was
What I
wide
getting
open.
at.
No, the 90s, listen.
Nobody cared.
The boomer, and I'm working on a book right now about boomers and the way they parented. And it's really like amazing to watch the difference between the way we were parented and the way
crazy.
kids are parented now.
it's nuts.
My parents might have said a few times, "Hey, you should go to college," but they took no interest. Like the idea of like them like going around the schools and
With
being
you
like,
for like the weekend. And,
"Oh,
yeah.
won't you have fun here? You'll like it here." Like they were such deeply selfish people that had no designs on me becoming a productive human being at all. They were incredibly selfish, morally questionable demons from hell. We basically were just sharing.
Sounds like a nice little Saturday. I like it.
I mean,
You guys were like roommates.
we were just kind of like hanging out.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out.
I get it. No, yeah, for sure. I remember even like thinking. I don't even think I went on visit. I visited one college, I think, by myself.
Yeah. I used to smoke cigarettes in my grandmother's house when I was like 13, 14, just in the house.
Did she know?
They knew?
She knew, yeah. I would smoke cigarettes in the house.
They didn't care.
They
Holy
didn't care.
shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking
My
bold.
friend's mother used to let us do coke, weed, everything. My
Everybody's-
parents didn't do that. They hated drugs.
Everybody's got that one friend's house.
Yeah.
Where you walk in and you're like,
Oh.
I remember sitting in some being like, I shouldn't fucking be here.
Right.
This is bad.
Right. This
This
is
is not great.
Yeah.
You're always thinking, like, when are your parents coming home?
Yeah.
They'll just never be
And then
around.
they're home and
they're
they
like,
start
they're
doing
upstairs.
drugs with us. And we're like, oh.
You guys
My
got a white
friend's
pie?
mother was a prostitute.
Really?
And she made a lot of money in the 70s in the city, high-end call girl, and bought a house and everything. Great
Good
woman.
looking. Like,
She was then.
Uh-huh.
She knew how to,
package the
as
goods.
she said, clean the pipes.
Uh,
Her words, not mine.